10 pupils were surveyed to find out if they prefer black or blue cars. Obviously some pupils like both black and blue. Calculate the probability that a pupil like blue cars. Now before you can attempt anything like this, you've got to have prior knowledge of how to, let's say, probability. You need to have basic knowledge of probability. What else? You need to know how to simplify expressions. You need to know how to recognize and factorize quadratics. Quadratic expressions, solve quadratic equations. But even more basic than that, you need to have some knowledge of negative numbers. There's quite a lot there, so if you don't know any of these things, then this will be a struggle, so you need to look back at these topics. Calculate the probability that a pupil likes blue cars, and the answer is going to be a fraction. Well, there's a total of 10, nothing on the outside, doesn't say anything about the outside. So there are black and blue, total is 10, but total means what? It means adding. So we need to add these three expressions. Yes, also you need to have knowledge of expanding brackets. Because we're going to expand this in a moment. We've got this bit plus the x plus all of that. Let's just expand the brackets for now. X times x is x squared, x times -5 is -5x. The plus, just copy this, and then we'll simplify. So what's that then? If you simplify it, collecting like terms, x squared plus 1x plus 2x, sorry, x squared is on its own. You've got minus 5x, add 1x plus 2x. These belong to the same group. So you've got minus 5x, add 1x is minus 4x. Minus 4x add 2x is minus 2x. So you have to think about that on the number line. And then you got the -5, just the number by itself. So that represents the total in algebraic form. But remember, the total is 10. So all of that is equal to 10. Remember, that's the total as a number, and that's the total in algebraic form. Right, that's a quadratic expression, but we need to solve it. But before we can solve it, we need to make this side equal to 0. Take away 10. What do we do on this side? Do on the other side. So we have squared minus 2x. -5 take away 10 on the number line. -15. That becomes 0. Right, that's a quadratic equation. It needs solving. So you need to factorize this first. X and x, because x times x is x squared. Right, what two numbers multiply together to give you the -15? But those same two numbers, when added together to give you -2. Right, some of you might get this straight away, and sometimes it could take a bit of time. But take your time if you need to. Right, the two numbers are negative. Let's have a look. -5 and 3. Let's check. -5 times 3. -5 times 3, does that give you -15? It does. And what about same numbers again, but this time adding? On the number line, that's going to give me -2, which is what I've got here. So these are the two numbers that I'm going to choose. In here, -5 and the +3. Swap them around if you want to, doesn't matter. Okay, so what value of x will make this 0? Because you know 0 times something gives you 0. The value of x that will make that 0 is x equals 5. Let me show you. If I now substitute the 5 in here, replace x with 5. 5 take away 5, obviously that's going to be 0. Multiplied by, replace x with 5. Now that's going to be 0 times something. 0 times anything is going to be 0. There you go, 0. So that's one of the numbers. The other one, well, what will make this side, the stuff inside this bracket, equal to 0? What can I replace x with? Minus 3. Right, let's check. Replace it with minus 3, negative 3. Zero. Now one of these numbers is invalid. Got to find out now. Well, for starters, you cannot, if you look at this diagram here, how can you have a negative value of x in here? You cannot have negative number of pupils that like both black and blue cars. And likewise, if you put the negative 3 in there, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, negative 6 take away 5 is negative 11. You cannot have negative 11 number of people that like blue cars. So you can just say, this one's valid, not valid. So x equals 5. So now if you replace x equals 5, what are we trying to work at? Calculate the property that a pupil likes blue cars. Well, let's find out how many pupils or people there are altogether. We know there are 10 people altogether, so that's the denominator. There are 10 in total. But how many like blue cars? So we're talking about everything in here. Replace the x with 5, the valid number. Put the 5 in there. That's 5. Replace x with 5 here as well. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 take away 5 is also 5. So 5 and 5, that makes altogether 10. So everybody likes blue cars. So 10 out of 10 pupils like blue cars. Nobody likes only black cars. I'll show you now. If I replace x with 5 here, 5 take away 5 is 0. 0 times 5, 0. There are nobody that likes only black cars. There are 5 people that like both black and blue cars. And there are also 5 pupils that like only blue cars. I know that because if I replace x with 5, 2 times 5 is 10. 10 take away 5 is 5. So to answer the question then, calculate the probability that a pupil likes blue cars. All the pupils like blue cars. 10 out of 10 is what we got here. Now if I was to ask a similar kind of question, calculate the probability that a pupil likes let's say blue and black. Blue and black cars. Replace the x with 5 here. And altogether we have 10. 5 tenths. Half the pupils like blue and black.